If you're looking for a job and someone's trying to charge you, that's a bad company. And if you're an employer using a headhunter, make sure they're not pitching up junk just so that they can put their name on as many applicants as possible. On today's episode, these are the recruiters you don't want to use. If you are looking for a job and a recruiting firm is asking you for a fee, don't use them. That's not how the business model works for recruiters. The way they make their money is on the fees that they charge the company, not the applicant. It's a scam. Don't do it. Let's say you're looking for qualified candidates and you've considered using a recruiting firm. And how do you know if they're reputable and why does that matter? Please pay attention. In the contract for most recruiting firms, they have a hold on that person that they've submitted for a year. What does that mean? So at any point within the year, whether it's for the position that you were filling or maybe 6 months down the road, you decide to hire them for another position, you still owe that recruiting firm their percentage. Fees in the restaurant world run between 10 and 20%, and I've even heard of some companies that charge more. But what happens when you use multiple recruiters? There is a logic to it. This has multiple recruiting firms looking to fill your position. But here's where it gets interesting. Firm 1 gives you a candidate, and you say no. 6 months later, you're filling another position, and firm 2 gives you that same applicant. You weren't paying attention. You don't have a catalog of all the resumes that you have received, so you hire that person from firm B. Now you owe firm both A and B for that person. I've seen this happen a number of times. 2 recruiting firms put somebody up and the hiring manager didn't notice. In order to get that person hired, you would have to pay, instead of 15% for one, now you have to pay 30% for both recruiting firms. Do you know what often happens then? That person doesn't get the job. If you use multiple recruiters, you run into the problem of the same person being submitted to you from multiple people. If you don't tell recruiting firm B, hey, we already have this person on our list, and then you hire them, you're on the hook. Why would you use a recruiter? Here are 6 prerequisites. I can't say prerequisite. Here are 6 prerequisites that must exist in order for this to be a good idea. Number 1, your traditional searches are subpar, and you don't have the network to find the people that you need. Number 2, that the recruiting firm offers a free replacement, preferably up to 6 months. Industry standard's 3, but some places will give you 6. And what does that mean? If the person that you hire doesn't work out, then they'll work to get you a free replacement. Number 3, only use recruiting companies that do an extensive pre-screening. They're supposed to be making it easier for you. Number 4, only use them if you're targeting people who likely are currently employed. A lot of headhunters are connected to people that they can reach out to find out if people in the industry are looking for jobs, including those people themselves. Recruiting companies keep people in their, I was going to say Rolodex, and that's so old. Number 5, get references from other companies and make sure that this firm truly vets the people that they put in front of you. I call them spaghetti recruiters. So when they're throwing as much stuff on the walls to see what sticks, they throw a whole bunch of applicants at you. They're just doing so that they can trigger having their name on them for a year. There are several national firms that are notorious for doing this. No, I'm not going to tell you who, but they're definitely out there. And number 6, only use a recruiting firm if you feel that they are a true partner and they understand your brand. Square peg, round hole. A lot of recruiters will just push people in, not understanding the exact function of your company or what's going to be a good fit for your brand. They're supposed to be saving you time and giving you better applicants. Otherwise, they're completely worthless. All right, that was from Chapter 7, Why Would You Use Headhunters, from my book, The Surprise Restaurant Manager, available in all great bookstores or on Audible, where you can hear me talk for 5 hours. All right, for the 3 people that are still watching, here's the challenge with negotiating lower fees with headhunters. Let's say that their base commission is 15%, and you negotiate them down to 10, and they're looking for people nationwide. It's not just that recruiter who's looking, it's an entire pool, likely, that are looking to fill that position. They put that out on the open market. But the problem is, if you put something out at 10%, whereas everybody else can rip 15%, guess whose job that they're going to fill last? It's yours. If you can get 10% locked in because you are a larger company and you know that you're going to be filling multiple positions with that recruiting firm, great. That works for you, that works for them. But if you're using a headhunter for a one-off, I guarantee you, if you negotiate that percentage down, you're going to get the bottom of the barrel candidate instead of the top tier, simply because you're paying your recruiter less. And that's something that they'll likely never tell you, but it's absolutely true. All right, I appreciate y'all sticking around to the very end. Please check out one of my other videos. Thanks again, and take care.